Welcome to Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but still want to be its friend. I'm your host, Dr. Moiya McTier. I'm an astrophysicist, a folklorist, and a best friend to the universe, I like to say. It's at least one of my best friends. I'm recording from my office here at Pale Blue Podiversity, and I'm expecting a really exciting guest soon. Christina Kann is a writer and one of the hosts of the Burn Before Reading podcast, and she's stopping by to talk about the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We both watched it, and we're going to review it, and she should be here any minute. Christina, welcome. Come on in.
Oh my gosh, what a lovely office. It's beautiful in here.
Thank you so much. I do love a plush carpet and obviously the working fireplace.
Oh, it's so cozy. I could stay here all day.
Thank you. You're welcome to. I love when students and other faculty come in and just hang out. Would you like some tea?
Ooh, please.
Oh, yes, here you go. Because it's cold outside and we need to warm up.
So cold. I'll get some tea sipping ASMR.
Oh, amazing. Ooh, just listen to that slurp. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Christina, thanks so much for joining me. Is there anything else you would want people to know about you?
No, my podcast is the most important thing to me. So thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
You're welcome. Okay, well, I want to get to know everyone here at the Podiversity a little bit better. So I've been trying to get people to come to my office, luring them in with tea and coziness, and submitting them to my questionnaire. It's like a little personality quiz of my own making, and there are no wrong answers. I just want to get to know you better.
Ooh,
are you down?
Yes, I'm so down.
Great. So the first question is, when you think about the universe out there, how does that make you feel?
Ooh, kind of like looking into the eyes of my beloved cat, where it's like, I can't fathom this beauty, and yet I feel so grateful and a little bit anxious that I have you. Yeah.
Oh, I love that answer so much. Do you feel that same type of like caretaker relationship with the universe, or?
I feel like the Earth being part of the universe, yes. I feel like when I look out into the heavens, I'm like, wow, that's kind of out of my hands.
Yeah, it is. It is. The Earth is kind of in your hands where you can influence it. But Christina, you are also space. And so taking care of yourself is taking care of the universe.
Whoa. Self-care is taking care of the universe. Okay, I'm going to sit with that one.
Good.
Wow.
Excellent. Next question, and no is a valid answer.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite equation?
Is less than 3 an equation?
It's a relation.
It's a relation.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna do that. I'm not a math girly.
Amazing. What about this is a new question. I'm testing it out. Do you have a favorite unit of measurement?
I really like grams. A lot of good stuff comes in grams. I count calories. A lot of stuff comes in grams. You know, a little bit of the devil's lettuce comes in grams too.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in grams.
You're right. That's fantastic. Gram. That's one of the bases of the CGS unit system, which astronomers use, the centimeters, grams, seconds system.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's metric. Yeah. So that makes it easy for everyone.
It does.
Except for little Americans who have not introduced themselves to the metric system yet.
You're right. You're right. That was a steep learning curve.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Not everyone uses Fahrenheit? What do you mean? Okay, that was an experiment that went well. Next question. Do you feel like your sun sign fits your personality?
Ooh, sometimes. I feel like my sun sign like fits my personality, but I have to look at my what do they call it? The Holy Trinity? The
Big Three.
The Big Three, thank you. I feel
Holy Trinity.
I remembered it was 3, but I feel like you have to look at like all of those to understand like the breadth of my character. But I do feel like my sun sign like explains a lot.
Okay. Do you want to share what it is?
Sure. I'm a Cancer sign, which is why I'm extra mad that it's snowing outside.
Is that Is that summer? Is that a
Yes,
summer baby?
the heat
Okay.
of summer. Yeah, it's like the end of June through the end of July. So, and like cancers they are characterized by their warmth and their like depth of feeling and their like investment in their home and their friendships and their relationships. And I do feel like those things are foundational to who I am.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
I am a Capricorn, and I am unfortunately very well described as a Capricorn, which I know is such a Capricorn thing to say. I'm stuck in the loop.
That is very funny. I have some Capricorns who are beloved to me, so I think we'll get along just fine.
I am already feeling it.
Yeah.
It's here.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had something like an alien encounter?
I have not personally had anything like an alien encounter. More like ghosty stuff has happened in my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my roommate is currently haunted by a ghost.
A good one or a malevolent one?
We are still trying to figure it out. We've been in this apartment for a couple months now, and we are still trying to figure it out. He won't really let her sleep, but he's not doing anything else, so we're not sure if it's like malicious or just tomfoolery.
It's just a ghost that's really against the REM cycle.
Yeah, something about it. He's like, you can't sleep. I need an audience, something.
Just a diva ghost.
Yeah, I think so.
Incredible. Okay, well, since you've already witnessed ghosts, or you've been around ghosts in the paranormal, I would like to give you the chance to witness something out there, something very scientific, something far away. So if you could witness anything in space, any event like a planet forming or the first life forms in the universe creating, like something, like what would you want to see?
I feel like the things that I want to see also would make my brain explode. Like I'm fascinated by the concept of spaghettification.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that my brain would be like, that can't happen, that I can't possibly be witnessing this right now. And then it would just go into like a default, like turn off, shut down, start over situation. Yeah, everything discussed in the film Interstellar like would just blast my brain into outer space. So
Okay, yeah, anything to do with black holes, event horizons.
Yes.
Some time dilation.
Oh my God, time dilation. What is that?
Yeah, I think that it would be really cool to somehow be able to observe multiple rates of time at once.
Yeah, like for comparison, exactly. Yeah. I want to understand. Yeah. I want to understand.
That's damn. Now I'm so curious. Now I'm mad. I'm never gonna know that.
I know.
Yes. Oh, that's a great answer. That's how you know it's a good answer. Okay, to bring us back down a little bit, imagine you are an astronaut and we're sending you out into space, but you get to choose the playlist. What song are you listening to during blastoff?
Oh my God. Maybe. Wait, no, that's Bad Woman. My first instinct was this girl is on fire, but then I was like, that's bad. I want the fire to be underneath me, blasting me into outer space. I'm not personally on fire.
Fine if you're talking about her as the ship, if you're like doing that old sailor thing. Yeah.
That makes sense.
This rocket girl, she's on fire.
Yeah, I guess I'll just commit to that because that's the, you know, that when someone's like, what's your favorite song? And you're like, wait, have I ever listened to a song in my life? I'm having one of those.
What is music?
Yeah, what is music? Just Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. And everyone will be like, wait, has she been to space before?
And like, oops, does she not mean to be going to space now?
Damn it, I always accidentally end up going to space. What is the deal?
That would be a hilarious children's book series.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I'm in space again. Okay, yeah. That's a nice segue into another ridiculous series, another fun, comedic science fiction franchise, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We're going to be talking about mostly the movie today. We're going to summarize it. So, you know, if you haven't watched it already, pause, go watch it. I watched it on Hulu.
Also,
you can find
Hulu.
it. And then come back. We're going to review it, rate it on our very official Pale Blue Pod rubric. But we're also going to kind of talk about it as a part of a larger multimedia franchise, comparing it to the book and figuring out whether we think it was a good book to movie adaptation.
I can't wait.
It's going to be so fun. So let's dive right in. Well, first of all, was this your first time seeing this movie?
No, I was a nerd in 2005 when it came out.
I was like, we're getting along too well for this to be your first time seeing it.
No, when I was a kid, I was, not to betray too much about myself, but I was 14 in 2005 when the film came out. And by that time, my dad had long since pressed a copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy into my hands. I think I had read all 5 of the books in the series. And we were very excited to go see the movie. And I've seen it so many times, like truly so many times. So
clearly you are a fan.
I'm a big fan
of the movie.
And I love science fiction, and I also just, the British absurdism is just so good. Yeah. It's so good.
Well, we'll get into it. I can't wait to hear the thieves of your heart, the things that stole your heart. But first, let's talk about what happened in this movie. The beginning is fantastic. The cast is fantastic. So for those of you who are unaware, this movie came out in 2005. It was directed by Garth Jennings. I've never heard of him.
I was going to say, whoever
I don't know what he's done
guy
since.
is.
Yeah, but the movie opens with a fun little narration.
So yeah, sometimes movies have like a narrator, and I'm like, that's dumb, we don't need that. This is not one of those, because the narrator voice in the book is really strong and gives a lot of background, and the film narrator really reflects that.
Yeah.
And so this opening introduction just completely sets the tone. It starts with all of the dolphins on Earth being like, something terrible's coming, we need to leave.
Which would be concerning. Truly.
Yeah, so concerning. And then it lets the viewer know this movie is not to be taken seriously.
You're right. It serves a purpose, that opening.
Yeah. Well, and they have like this whole like song and dance number with the dolphins. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, it sets the mood. So long and thanks for all the fish. So right up front, you know that something bad is about to happen to Earth.
Yes, that is one of the lyrics of the song.
What is that bad thing?
It is scheduled to be demolished to make way for like an intergalactic bypass. But you're like immediately distracted from that fact. After the dolphins leave, the very next thing that happens is Arthur Dent, as portrayed by Martin Freeman, realizes that his house is being demolished to make way for like a regular bypass. And it's like
a parallel.
It's so fun. It's such a funny parallel because he's so indignant. He didn't know. He's like laying down in front of the bulldozer, but like little does he know that the Earth is also going to be exploded.
For basically the same reason.
Yes. So his alien friend, Ford Prefect, very cool, subtle name, is like, oh, hey, Arthur. And he's like, I can't talk right now. My home's about to be destroyed for a bypass. And Ford's like, how did you know? Because they're talking about 2 totally different things.
Right. Classic comedy of communication.
Yeah. We love it. Dramatic irony. We know something terrible is afoot. Arthur Dent thinks something only slightly less terrible is afoot.
Yeah. He's totally not expecting what's coming. And so Ford really drives things forward.
Yeah.
Pun intended. And he...
It sounds like a Ford commercial. Ford, it really drives things forward.
Get at me, Ford. If you want to sponsor the podcast, sure. Sure. I don't think they ever would.
That would be like a banana sponsorship.
So Ford takes him to a bar and they get drunk, and then they hitchhike. They become the hitchhikers who are the target audience for this guide to the galaxy.
Yeah, and Ford is a writer for the guide. He's been in his research, he's been stranded on Earth. And so he knows everything about hitchhiking around the galaxy, and he's really good at it, and we all kind of love him, right? We love him.
Yeah, he gives Arthur a copy of the guide. He gives Arthur the translation fish, the babble fish that immediately translates anything that you hear. It also works on seeing, right? Because it's like any sort of data coming into the brain.
I guess.
Because otherwise,
it must.
How are they reading things?
Yeah, he does do paperwork at some point.
Yeah. So that's very useful. And also introduces Arthur to his first Vogons, which is an interesting alien race that they have in this movie. How would you describe Vogons to someone?
They're kind of like big grumpy potatoes that worship paperwork and bureaucracy. The book describes them as a species that like crawled out of the sea, and then evolution was like, ooh, you know what? I'm actually not going to do anything more on this. And the Vogons are like, we don't need evolution anyway.
That's good. Ford describes them as they can't think, they can't imagine, most of them can't even spell, they just run things.
Yep. Which is a little too real.
A lot of this was a little too close to home to watch right now in February of 2025.
Yeah, just wait till we introduce the president.
Yes. Yes. So that's Vogons, and they are like in charge of all of the bureaucracy, but there is a president of this galaxy, and there's recently been a presidential election.
Don't remind me. Oh, I thought you meant IRL. I was like, don't remind me.
No, I was trying to keep it to the show.
The book specifically says, and like, I'm sorry if they repeat stuff in the movie. I remember books a little bit better, you know, I'm a visual learner or whatever. But the book specifically says, like, the president is an office designed not to hold power, but to take attention away from power.
Oh, they do not say that in the movie.
It is so real, and the President Zaphod is very good at it.
Yes. He does that. He definitely distracts from power.
Yeah.
Zaphod Beeblebrox kidnaps himself as president.
Iconic behavior.
Right. He takes basically the galactic equivalent of Air Force One and uses it to go on his own personal quest to find a very important question.
Yeah.
Which we get to eventually.
Yeah, the spaceship is like a new technology that they're unveiling, and he's like, I'm stealing this and myself.
Yes. This technology is actually how everything comes together. Like so many moments in this movie are transitioned by that piece of technology, by the improbability drive.
Such a cool nonsense sci-fi concept.
It really is. Thank you, Douglas Adams, for giving this to us. So they're on the Vogon ship, Ford and Arthur there, and they hitchhike again. Or they're trying to hitchhike again. That's it. And the Vogons find them and then eject them out into space. What are your thoughts on that scene when they're about to, and then they do get ejected out into space?
Well, one of the funniest moments, I think, in cinematic history is when they're standing in that, like, not airlock chamber, and they're like, how are we ever going to get out of this one? And they're panicking, and Ford's like, oh my God, what's this? What's this? And then he's like, oh, that's nothing. We're going to die, actually.
And then they're just calm about it. They're just, like, waiting for the hatch to open.
In silence, and it does, which, like, and then they fall out of it, which I don't think any of that is scientifically sound. You don't fall into space.
I mean, they would get...
That's fine.
They would get sucked out into it. I imagine they would get ejected in that direction. It just happened to be shot from
like a fall.
That angle. Yeah. So it looked like they were falling down. But they're just being sucked out.
Yeah. Okay. And so, like, apparently you can survive for up to 30 seconds in the vacuum of space, which...
Actually longer.
Is that real? I feel like you'd freeze. Is that... Wouldn't you?
No, it would take you, like a dozen hours to actually freeze because space, we call it a vacuum because there aren't really air particles out there, and air particles are what carry the heat away from your skin when you're getting cold. So there's just not very good heat transfer. So
oh my God!
You wouldn't freeze.
There is no heat in space. It just also doesn't take heat away from you.
Correct.
Whoa.
Well, if you were in direct view of the sun.
Sure.
Then you're in like hundreds of thousands of degrees if you're close enough. So that can be dangerous either way. But they're out in deep space, so they don't have to worry about freezing. They did say that if you have a full lungs of air, a full chest of air or something, that you can survive for up to 30 seconds. You actually do not want to breathe in if you are about to be ejected out into space. You want near empty lungs because the low pressures of space are going to expand all of the gas and liquids in your body. So if your lungs are full, then you are in danger of them bursting. If your lungs are nearly empty, kind of like if you're diving and coming back up, then you mostly empty lungs will expand.
Wow. Okay, that's really good to know in case I ever get caught in the vacuum of space. Okay.
Yes. So exhale.
Okay. All right. Whoa. Very counterintuitive.
And then you can survive for a minute or two.
Okay. Okay. And that's just enough to be picked up by a crazy sci-fi spaceship.
Yes. Which picks you up because it is one of the least likely things that it could possibly do. So it did it.
Yeah, it was like the odds of this happening are like a bajillion to 1 against. So that's why.
Mm-hmm. And even less likely that you would get picked up by a spaceship in the vast emptiness of space is that the only other person who survived Earth's destruction, who you met once at a party and flirted with, would also be on that spaceship.
Right? That's like a nightmare. It's like, oh God, this girl who rejected me is on this spaceship.
Yes, truly. I forgot Zooey Deschanel was in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Quirky sci-fi girl, 2005, Zooey Deschanel.
Mm-hmm. That really was her bag.
Yeah. Like people say, like, not even if we were the last 2 human survivors of the untimely demise of Earth.
But you know, he got the girl at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. So it worked out in the way that 2000s movies always worked out.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta have a hetero romance, or like, what are we even doing here?
Is this even a movie? If not, we'll come back to that in the rubric for sure.
Right.
Okay, so they're in the ship. They're in the improbability drive ship, and that is when we hear from Beeblebrox, from President Beeblebrox, about this big important question. Mm-hmm. He tells us about an ancient society that constructed a super powerful computer to tell them the ultimate answer
to life, the universe, and everything.
Yes, exactly. That's how they phrase it. Give us the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
And the computer literally is like, you have to ask a question.
Yes. And they still didn't get it. They still didn't understand what was missing there.
Come on, scientists should know that if you want the answer, you have to know what the question is. It just makes sense.
But that society had its own faults. So... Yeah. But anyway, the computer tried to give them the answer. It did. It was like, come back in 7 million years. I'll have the answer. And then it did. And it calculated that the answer was 42, which makes no sense if you don't know the question.
I love it. Freaking love it. It's so good. Douglas Adams.
This is such a great example of like storytelling. Like you're sending these characters on these roundabout missions. So they have the answer, but they don't have the question. So the computer builds another computer to figure out what the question is, and then the answer will make sense. You learn later that the computer to find the question was actually Earth.
It kind of explains a lot.
It does. It does. No wonder we're all so clueless.
Yeah. It's like, this all feels very contrived and confusing.
Because at least according to Douglas Adams in this book, it is.
Yeah.
So they in the movie, they go on some side quests. Like Zoe's character gets taken into custody by the Vogons, and they have to go rescue her, and they go to the planet with the other presidential candidate. What's his name?
Hamagabula.
Hamagabula.
You have to like yell it like Sam Rockwell does. Hamagabula.
With his head thrown back.
AKA John Malkovich.
True.
Like, what are you doing here?
The rock star cast of this movie is just chef's kiss.
I love it. Yeah, they go to him to get the coordinates, to find the computer, to find the question, but then they have to go get a gun for her, and it's very like fetch questy. It's like kind of like a video game energy, you know?
Oh, we can trade this, but only after you go get this highly valuable thing that I need. But they get that very special gun, and it's a point of view gun or a perception gun where it was developed by women who wanted their husbands to see their point of view.
Yep. How the world would be different if we had one of those.
Oh my God. If that was our gun problem in America, that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Just a problem of empathy.
I know. That expression that's like, what radicalized me? Empathy, bro. Like,
yes. Seriously, I read one fantasy novel as a kid, and that made me care about others.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, bro. Yeah, you're right. It's very, very video gamey. They're going on all these quests. What happens at the end? How do they get to the end?
They're at the planet, and Arthur Dent gets separated from the rest of the group, and he gets found by Bill Nighy.
Oh, that's who that was. Yeah.
Again, just an absolute icon wandering through this absurd film. Playing
he plays
a really funny character.
This is one of my favorite characters. What is it? Slarty Bartfast?
He's like, you don't need to know my name.
It's just going to derail the conversation. Let's just skip it. Just ignore it. Yeah, you're right. Arthur meets him and then shows him something very surprising.
It's Earth.
It's Earth 2.0. So Slarty Bartfast reveals that Earth was built by mice, which were basically the manifestations of the ancient people who created the original computer. Mm-hmm. To find the big answer. And they have been monitoring and manipulating and experimenting on the people of Earth to try and find the big question.
Right. The best laid plans of mice.
Yes. Yeah. And apparently Earth was destroyed only 5 minutes before the big question was about to be discovered.
Come on. Ain't that always the way?
Mm-hmm, just in the nick of time. And I guess in the movie, they try to steal Arthur's brain. Do they do that in the book too?
No. A lot of the finale is super different in the book.
Okay, cool. So they try to take Arthur's brain so that they can find the ultimate question, but he smushes them.
Yeah.
With a big bowl.
Which is kind of, these are like ancient scientists. Maybe like treat them with some dignity.
Yeah. Like I understand they were not listening to you, but it's because they probably didn't think you were very smart.
Yeah. Are we going to address the murder?
Yeah. So he murders them and then he escapes with Ford and Trillium, who is the Zooey Deschanel character, and President Beeblebrox. And they're like, let's go to the restaurant at the edge of the universe. And we never learn the question, so we never learn what 42 means in the movie, at least. And that's how it ends. But we do at least see that Earth is like reset.
Earth gets rebooted. Well, and they're at the end, they're like, hey, Arthur, we're about to like reset Earth, but like you have full control over the entire planet. Is there anything you'd like to change? And he's not like, let's bring back some extinct species. Let's get rid of these like fracking. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is it a rig? How do you frack? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a rig.
Like, let's like anything. He does nothing. He's like, it's good.
That was very like white man in 2005. So, the world is perfect and nothing needs to change.
Well, especially because he's like, do you want to change anything you think the Earth could do without? And he's like, yeah, me. And it's like, okay, good, dude, I'm really glad you're having this like character moment, but like, what about the good of the planet?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That was a peeve. What would you have said in that situation? Because I would have needed to have been like, okay, give me 24 hours. I will have a complete list to you.
Yes.
Soon.
I would have said yes. I would have said like, can I take a couple minutes? Do you have Wi-Fi? My first thought is a list of like the species that have gone extinct in the last like 50 years. If you go back much farther than that, I think you're playing with fire, but stuff recently extinct species, let's save those. Also, maybe can we just, and this obviously was written in like maybe the 60s or something, so 50s to 70s sometime I don't really remember the publication date, but they weren't thinking 79, thank you. They weren't thinking about this then as much, but like let's just take those coastlines back a little bit. Let's just take like a little, like 0.1% of the oceans back and take a chill pill on these rising coastlines. Those are my first couple. Undo some damage that humans have wrought. Yeah.
Back in 2005, you're right. Push back those coastlines. Let's add some permafrost back, and let's definitely
some
clear
Amazon.
That ozone.
Clear the ozone. Yeah, there's a lot of good that could have been done.
Yeah,
Arthur.
I'm also not a good person when I'm given a lot of power. So I would have taken people out. Like I would have gotten rid of other people.
Ooh, yeah. Do you have like a cast list that I can make notes on? At the very least, you could, and this is again not 2005, but today, at the very least, you could take some of Trump's properties away from him, like
At
stuff
the
like
very
that.
least. I feel at this point I'm Thanosing.
Anyone whose net worth is over $1 billion, they don't need to come back. Just put their money into the school systems.
Right. Actually, Slarty Bart Fast, now that you ask of it, I'm getting rid of billionaires.
Yeah.
The people themselves
great.
can still exist, but a billionaire cannot exist on Earth.
Yeah. We need a cap.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So we should have, I think, perhaps been the main characters of this story and not Arthur Dent, because the whole point is like, wow, the normalist, humanist, white boy British man in the world in outer space. But like, maybe some other people could have done some better stuff.
Although there are some nice themes in this, despite that like glaring error at the end. There are some good themes that I think resonate right now. The idea of being upset at an unqualified person winning an election over a more qualified candidate, I think rings eternal.
Yeah, although the other candidate is like a preacher, and so we're not sure what his politics would have been either.
Correct.
But
and he had those little spider legs. Spider legs usually mean that person's up to no good.
Okay, you're completely right about that. But Zaphod did sign off on the Earth getting demolished because he thought it was an autograph, and that's too real. He's like, I don't read.
So much about that is very real.
Yeah.
Don't panic. It's just the mid-break. Christina's actually rifling through my snack cabinet as I speak to make sure I have enough peanuts and salty alternatives for any emergency that comes our way. So I have some time to share some messages with you, and the first is a big thank you to all of my patrons who support the show financially every single month. This is an independent podcast, so I really couldn't make the show without you. And I want to give a special huge thank you to my sun-like stars, Scott Reynolds, Augustin, Tom T., Mark Mahoney, and Nicole Bartlett. You know, you are all stars, which means technically you each get to make a wish on yourself if you so choose. I'm just going to leave that information with you to do what you will. If you want to support this indie podcast on Patreon, hear your name on the show, and become a star so you can make a wish on yourself, you can do that by joining my Patreon for just $5 a month at patreon.com/palebluepod. And of course, if you can't support the show financially right now, that's totally fine. You're still space, and I love you very much. That's actually not even the best way to help the show. The best way to help Pale Blue Pod is to get more people listening to Pale Blue Pod. So share a link to a specific episode with a friend, get together for a Pale Blue Pod listening party, send your enemy a link to an episode and say, I bet you're so stupid you wouldn't understand this at all. Whatever you can do to get more people listening to Pale Blue Pod will help me make this show even better, and I will appreciate any help you can give me. Next, I want to recommend a podcast in the Multitude Collective called Join the Party. This is an actual play podcast with tangible worlds, genre-pushing storytelling, and collaborators who make each other and the listeners laugh each week. GM Eric and emphatic players Amanda, Brandon, and Julia welcome everyone to the table, from longtime TTRPG players to folks who have never touched a role-playing game in their lives. So you can hop into their current campaign, which shows you the drama and excitement of a superhero high school. It's told through the game Masks, which they teach you everything that you need to know to enjoy the story. You can also marathon their completed series, Campaign 3 for a pirate story set in a world of plant and bug folk, the Camp-Pain for a Monster of the Week game set in a weird summer camp, Campaign 2 for a modern superhero game not set in a high school, and Campaign 1 for fans of classic high fantasy stories. So what are you waiting for? Pull up a chair and join the party. You can search for Join the Party in your favorite podcast app or go to jointhepartypod.com. All right, Christina says that I have enough protein and salt-rich snacks for anything that we could foresee in the nearby future. So let's get back to this conversation. I did hear that Cavalli.
Hamakavula.
Why can I not get that man's name right?
Because it's a crazy name.
He's just in the movie. Like Douglas Adams, when he was working on the screenplay, incorporated him for this, and I do wonder why.
Yeah, I feel like he is mentioned. I think his name is mentioned in one line in the book, if I remember correctly. Like, but yeah, I don't know if it's because the book is 200 pages long. It is short. It goes by really fast, which is why it's crazy that I didn't finish rereading it for this, but that's okay. And so, like, I wonder if they just needed to fluff it up because, like I said, there's, like, a lot of stuff in the movie that is not in the book. So I wonder if they were like, it would do us a lot of good if we just had, like, one more side plot. So they were like, okay, let's give him, like, a foil, like a contrast.
Okay, yeah, then let's get into the adaptation bit of it. I, first of all, didn't realize how many different forms it had taken.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it started as a radio play in 1978.
Isn't that so cool?
Well, yeah, that's such a cool time in history. I would love to listen to that. And created by Douglas Adams, who then adapted it into a book series. There were TV shows, there was a game, and then there was this movie in 2005.
Yeah.
There are 6 books. The first one was published in 1979, and then 5 more over 30 years. And I didn't read the books. So I don't know. I don't have skin in this game, but I'm curious how you feel about this movie as an adaptation of the book.
Totally. Okay. Well, first of all, I highly recommend you read the first one. Like I mentioned, it's like 200 pages long. It goes by so fast. It's hilarious. It's very easy to read. It's so cozy. I mean, it's just an iconic part of Western literature. I have read all 5. Is the 6th one? Let me see.
There was one in 2009. It was like, and then.
Yeah, it's called And Then Another Thing, or And Another Thing. I haven't read that one. It was written by, I do not know how to say this name, but the author of Artemis Fowl, like Eowyn Colfer. Are you familiar with the Artemis Fowl books?
Yeah.
So I don't believe I've read that. Maybe I did, because I was, I liked Artemis Fowl as a kid. But the books, I've read them all. I have like this giant edition called like The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they're all in one book. It's literally so big. But they're all great. Like, and a lot of the like weird stuff that happens in the first book like comes around a little bit later. Like, for example, you remember the petunias? Those come back around later.
Oh, good. I did get that impression because it didn't seem like there was much wasted in this movie. And I assumed that if there was a reference or if there was time taken to pay attention to something, that was from the books, or that there was a larger reason why.
Yeah, if nothing else, like fan service to the book readers.
Yeah.
Definitely, in my opinion, I will say I haven't read the rest of the series in probably like 15 years. I do reread the first one every like 5 years or so. They get like more and more absurd. So like by the end, you're kind of like, where is the meaning? Like what are we doing here? But if I remember correctly, I think the next installment of the series, Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which they reference at the end of the first one, I think that one's pretty fun. It literally is a restaurant at the end of the universe. You can like it's like having like an oceanfront table. You can like gaze out over like the universe imploding. And I don't really remember how the rest of them go, but they are bananas. They're like bonkers rides.
Where does this fall for you on the scale of book to movie adaptations? Because he was involved. Like, he helped write the screenplay. He died before the movie came out. Douglas Adams did, but
that's a tragedy.
Yeah, but it has some faithfulness to it.
Yeah, totally. So as I mentioned, I was but a young teen when the movie came out, and I was new to the world of writing and the world of like book to film adaptations. And so like back then I was like really a bit of a stickler. And so like I'm thinking about like Ella Enchanted, for example. I don't know if you're familiar, but that movie is so different from the book. And like the Harry Potter movies were starting to come out around that time. And so like I was at the time livid about this interpretation. A lot of it is similar, but like a lot of it is just made so much more like visual. If I remember correctly, I don't think the improbability drive like does these like cartoonish things in the same way. It's a lot more visual, and like Trillian being like, look at all these cool gadgets. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, the end is pretty different. So like at the time I was livid, but like watching it now, I'm like, wow, this is just so good. Like, I love it. Like, like I think that as you get older, and especially since I've spent a lot of time in like fiction writing, and like I understand better now, like how important it is to write for different media, I like it a lot. So as like an interpretation, I think it's strong. I think it like captures the spirit of like the tone of the book. It captures the energy, and the stuff that it added from the book, like I think is appropriate. I think it like is something that would have just made sense in the book if it was there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sometimes as authors, I'm sure you know, have had this experience. There are things we want to include in the book and we can't. I literally have a tattoo that says "Slay your darlings" because like there are things we love that we have to take out, and sometimes when there's an adaptation or there's like a new edition or some chance to give our story new life, that is when we can bring back some of our darlings. I wonder if that's what this was.
Yeah, totally. That's a really good point. Interesting.
Yeah, it was it is a great movie, and I loved it the first time I watched it, and I think this is maybe like the fourth or fifth. I'm still a big fan, and I'm sure that will be reflected in our peeves and our thieves and in the rating we give this. So, I'm curious if you have any peeves at all. Is there anything you don't like about this movie?
I don't. I as we kind of touched on earlier, I was gagging and like not in like a hot, cool drag queen way at the super heavy-handed hetero romance. It is not like that in the book. We are not. I feel like the whole like emotional climax of the film was like, it's all about her. Is she the one? It's like, you met this bitch at a party. This is so weird. Like,
like you talked for a couple hours, maybe. Get over it.
It was so weird. Like, I definitely understand, like, Trillian's a character in the book. They met at a party. Like, and I think that all of that makes sense. But the heavy hand, like, the movie, like, double, triple, quadrupled down on this, like, love side plot. And that also led to some weird, like, toxically masculine, like the fighting with like him and Zaphod, and it's like, Arthur, you're wearing a bath towel, like please stand down. Like I really didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's unfortunate that movies, especially ones made in the mid 2000s, thought that that's the only way we would be interested as an audience.
Yeah, like the way that I would have written this is, he had met her at a party. He had like kind of blown it with her by not going to Madagascar or whatever she dared him to do. And then he finds her on this spaceship and is so deliriously happy to run into someone that he knows after thinking the Earth has exploded that they become best friends forever.
Yeah. And then at the end, maybe they part ways and they each go on their own adventure because he's like, you know what? I haven't taken enough risks in my life, and it's a story of personal growth.
Yeah, totally. And like, I also didn't love that she was like obviously in like a very toxic relationship with Zaphod, and she only like found the strength to leave him to like go to another man. Never has a movie ever passed the Bechdel test list. Like, it is not a feminist film. Yeah. But classic sci-fi is not usually feminist.
No, that's not what you go to sci-fi for most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely a peeve. That's a good one.
How about you?
For me, the first one that I wrote was I wouldn't change anything about the Earth comment at the end, because what the fuck?
What the fuck?
My next one, which you've already talked about, was the space ejection. So there was that. So then the real peeve I have left is the Vogon's laser guns and how fucking useless they were. They're shooting so much and hitting so little.
Very stormtroopery.
Very stormtroopery. And also the damage caused by the weapons is not consistent. Like, it leaves really intense looking scorch marks on things, but only at the superficial level. And it,
like an owie.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, how is it so dangerous or harmful to Marvin, but like couldn't go through the side of a car? What?
We haven't mentioned Marvin. We gotta mention Marvin, who is a robot with a genuine people personality, aka depression. And he's voiced by Alan Rickman, and then he like gets shot at the end. I love him.
I love him. Oh, R.I.P. Alan Rickman.
I know. Talk about an icon.
Yeah, it was nice to hear his voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, those weapons just enraged me because they weren't doing anything but making people duck for cover.
A lot of ducking for cover in that that fight scene.
But that was my biggest peeve. Do you have any left?
I think that I like probably wouldn't have cast Zooey Deschanel, even though it is like so of the time, like, and it makes sense, and she's like obviously adorable, but like any girl who wasn't like other girls for like 8 years was just always Zooey Deschanel, and it's like, wow, if we really want her to be not like other girls, maybe like cast a different girl.
Very true.
And like she's kind of described in the books as more like withdrawn. And so I think that I maybe would have cast someone different, but most of the other casting, well, I guess, and I'm being anti-feminist right now because that's like the only girl in the whole freaking movie.
Nah, that's a valid critique.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna complain that there weren't enough black people because,
wow, great point.
Like, Ford is the only one we got,
and he is great. So luckily he's great, but wow, great point. A lot of white people and white aliens.
Yes, yeah. Even in an all-star cast, like even the voice actors were white, so it was pretty apparent.
And I do roast sci-fi fantasy writers who do that because it's like, hey man, you can do anything. You can do anything. You're making it up, so why not make up some characters of color? And also Ford is not black in the book. He's a white guy. He's a ginger, in fact.
Oh, well, I give them those props.
Yeah, and Mos Def is amazing at this role. I love him so much. I love him so much. So,
hilarious.
Yeah, not nearly enough, but what's there is Mos Def, and that's great.
What about the thieves of your heart? What has stolen your love away, Christina?
I mean, Martin Freeman as like a basic British man, like thrust into a situation beyond his imagining is just like great. I think that was great casting. Our introduction to him is him like walking down the stairs and cracking his forehead on like an overhang. And it like doesn't get better from there. He's like, it must be a Thursday. I never got the hang of Thursdays. And he's just like so deeply relatable.
Yeah, good character.
Good character. I also think that Sam Rockwell's portrayal of the president is really fun. He's very like rock and roll, which is like the point. He's like supposed to be really rock and roll. Do I like him as a president? No. Do I like him as a character? Sure do.
Yeah, and that's what fiction and media are for.
Yeah, exactly. I really liked when Slarty Barfast takes Arthur like out into the planet building factory. That's like so cool. And like to imagine, like obviously that's like impossible, but like to imagine.
I mean, I don't see why.
I guess like where could you make enough gravity to have like dozens and dozens of planets? I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I mean, if you're constructing them, if you have big enough tools, you can gather enough material.
I guess.
Yeah, I think it's totally possible.
Okay, so they need to hire you for this project. I'll be on like the marketing team or something.
Yeah, that was one of my thieves too. As a professional world builder, seeing the world building factory floor was awesome.
It's just beautiful. I think that like if they had made this movie 5 years earlier, the graphics would have been like really, really upsetting. But I think they did it at a time when they really could. It was like so beautiful. So like, yeah, like in terms of like imagination, just like fascinating.
Yeah, agreed. So well done.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here's my final one. Is the Vogue on poetry moment. Well, and here's a bit of lore for you. So my podcast, Burn Before Reading, we talk about like literary cringe. We read poetry that we like wrote in high school. We talk about literary drama. And so like the notion of torturing someone with bad poetry is something I'm pretty familiar with. And the film and the book talk about how Vogue on poetry is the like second worst poetry in the world. They say that the worst poetry in the galaxy was written by Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings, who lived like in a really specific place in Sussex. And like luckily her poetry was destroyed with the earth. And I learned recently, I Googled this like a day or two ago, that is in the original radio play, that the name was actually Paul Neil Milne Johnstone, who is an actual guy that Douglas Adams went to high school with. And Douglas Adams was like, I think they were friends, but he just put, you know how you just roast your friends?
Yeah.
So Douglas Adams put him in the radio play, but then his friend was like, hey, I'm getting like kind of a lot of flack for being like a really terrible poet. Can you please stop? But I also have read some of his poetry and like, it's not my favorite. So we've considered talking about this on Burn Before Reading. So in summary, one of the themes of my heart is the poetry torture. Hilarious. Love it.
Yes.
As well as Arthur and Ford's like very slapdash, like, it's clearly talking about like the vogonity and like how you just want to be loved. And it's just very good. The whole scene is amazing.
Yes, this is every student who's forgotten to do the reading in a literature class discussion.
Yes. Yes.
You're just stringing together all the smart words you can think of. Throw in praxis.
Oh my God.
Throw in a hegemony every once in a while and you're good.
Yeah. Hit him with a heretofore, you know.
Oh, you getting fancy with the heretofore.
We got a page limit to hit. Okay.
Oh, that is a great moment. And I think it's hilarious that all the other creatures in the universe hate Vogue on poetry so much, but Arthur's like, this is not that bad. Like, Ford, why are you squirming? This is fine. Which shows that the poetry here must really be terrible.
It's right. Yeah. Maybe he knew Paul Neil Milne Johnstone.
Must have. Yeah, that's a beautiful moment. The technology that they introduce, though few and far between, are fantastic. The babblefish, I guess, isn't necessarily technology, but that's good.
It acts as technology. It's very cool.
Exactly. We use it as a tool, so it's technology.
And like so many sci-fi, you can either do the Star Wars method of like everyone's just going to speak their own language and we're never going to address how we can all understand each other, or you have to come up with something.
Yeah. And I appreciate that they came up with a pretty good something for it. The point of view gun is fantastic. I want one. I want a tiny little point of view revolver, and it would make me so happy. Yeah. And the improbability drive. So just like all of the technology that they created to make this a different world, to like show that it's a science fiction world is great, and it serves the purpose of this hilarious, absurd intention that Douglas Adams had for the world.
Yeah, totally. And I think where like in another book, a reader might be like, that's like totally unrealistic. But like in this book with the tone it sets, it's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It all is unrealistic.
Yeah, what are you trying to say? Did you expect realism?
Right.
Silly. Yeah, okay. So we both liked, there were more things that we liked than didn't like.
For sure.
Imagine I know where this rubric is going to go. Okay. But we should do it anyway. So I have 5 different categories. We are going to rate the movie between 0 and 3 towels, because towels are so important.
They are important. I love that.
So it can get up to 15 towels. And the 5 categories are story, which is interesting here because it's an adaptation, but we'll figure that out. And then scenery. So how does it look? How was the production value? Then steaminess. Was there an appropriate level of steaminess? And scientific accuracy, important for an astronomy podcast. And then the soothing factor. How does this movie make us feel about our place in the universe?
Oh, okay. I love it.
So starting with story, between 0 and 3 towels, what do you think it gets?
I'm going to give it 2 towels. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the story is a lot of fun. Like we mentioned, it is a bit like fetch questy at times. It's like, wait, what are we doing right now? The forward momentum is not like consistently strong. And also the main character is doing so little of it. Like, so he's not plotting at all. The story belongs to all of the other characters.
Doesn't that make him more relatable though?
It totally does, but it does kind of like take your investment in the story in 2 different directions if like the main character is not doing the plot.
Okay.
And I think that might be part of why they changed some of the ending as well, to put more of the, like that pinnacle decision at the end of the film in Arthur Dent's hands. Give him something
he does
to
nothing
do.
with it.
Well, yeah, but you're right about that. So I choose 2. What about you?
Oh, I expected you to give it a higher one, but I see you are not going to just let this movie slide because
Don't
you
forget
like
that
it a
I'm
lot.
a fiction editor.
Yeah. So I was going to give it like a 2.5 because I think that it flows really well. Like I said before, it didn't seem like there was much wasted. Yes, fetch questy. I've never heard that term before, but I love it. It was a little fetch questy, but I like that in a fun story.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is fun for sure.
But no, I will respect your craft and
Thank
go
you.
with 2. The scenery, the production of it. How did this movie look to you?
I'm gonna give it 3. I think that there was like a couple moments where I was like, y'all did not try. Like when they walk out of the bar and on some planet and Ford is talking to that like gigantic person in fishnets and there's like basically no scenery. It's like, ooh, on a planet where it is dark and misty. But what they did put effort into, I think, was like really cool. Like I guess I'm mostly just thinking about that one scene with Slarty Part Fest.
Yeah.
But like the vibes were great. Whenever they committed, I think the inside of the spaceship was very cool. Also, the outside of the spaceship was very cool.
Yeah.
The Vogon stuff was all like icky in a way where you're like, I wouldn't touch that wall. You know, I think it was very good. So 3.
3. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I really liked the way the Earth destruction scene looked.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought that was well done.
Yeah, that's a great point. It looks very cool. I love the way that the Vogon ships moved like so, like as a matrix, you know, like so precisely. And then like, where they all just completely surrounded the Earth and just like, boom.
And they must have, going into the realism of the world, they must have done a full scan of the Earth right before they destroyed it in order to recreate it so faithfully at the end with the same people in that bar and everything.
Oh my God, great point. Yeah.
But yeah, that looked good. And then they had to do only a couple of times different visual styles, right? Like there was that couple seconds where they were yarn people.
That was cool. Some animator was like, give me a second. Hold my beer.
Exactly. So
very imaginative.
Yeah, I'd say 3 because I think they did a lot. Okay. Steaminess. You have thoughts, I'm sure.
Okay, is steaminess like sex and romance?
Yeah, but it's like, was this appropriate and well done, and not how much was there?
Okay, I understand. I'll give it 1.5.
Yeah.
I'll give it half credit.
Yeah.
There was a romance. There were moments where I was like, these moments support this romance. I don't think it belonged there. I think it was forced. But who could look at Zooey Deschanel and not be a little bit in love with her?
Right. And there wasn't so much of it that you had to see it. Like if you looked away at key moments, you could imagine that this movie did not have that love line plot.
That's true. Yeah, that's a really good point. Just, oops, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh, I got a text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So 1.5 I think is very fair. How about scientific accuracy? What do you think?
I think maybe like not that good. I'm not a scientist and I mostly read sci-fi fantasy, so I'm like anything is possible if you could create it in a Microsoft Word file. But I think the accuracy is not that good. So we talked about some of like the space mechanics.
Right.
The probability drive is like a bonkers concept. The freaking empathy gut, like all of the concepts are good, but I think like scientific believability and accuracy is not a big part of this. I don't think that the author valued it.
Correct. I don't think that Adams was trying at all to be loyal to science. I don't think he was even trying to get across scientific concepts. But at the same time, that means that he doesn't really show wrong things, you know, like there's no scene where they're flying through space and like they show it really, really wrong because like everything is so wrongly, ridiculous. That you don't expect to learn from this movie. So that gives it some grace, that earns it some grace in my books. But I would say maybe 1.5.
I was going to say 1 for like creativity, you know, but like I don't feel like you can go higher for that because it's just not accurate.
There's just nothing there.
It's not real.
But how about soothing? After watching this movie, do you think the average person would feel better or worse about whether or not the universe is out to get them?
That's really interesting with this specific piece because the Earth in this film gets accidentally exploded because of like a clerical error.
Yeah. But then recreated completely.
So it's like, it depends on what soothes you. Like, is like your inherent safety soothing or is your relative insignificance in the universe soothing? Like, what is soothing? Or do you want to believe that this is all like some big like conspiracy? Like what soothes you?
I am soothed by my insignificance in the universe, but I know I'm an outlier.
Totally. Yeah. I totally agree. Like I am soothed by that.
Great.
I'm going to go 3 for me because first of all, this movie is soothing as hell. I love watching it. I feel soothed by this movie. And it's like what I think that the concept of like, what if you went into outer space and stuff was silly? Like what if it was generally silly out there? Like I really like that. That feels comforting to me.
Yeah, you're right. That's just a good space vibe that we don't always receive in media. So that is nice. I think that it's soothing because the big catchphrase of this whole franchise is "Don't panic."
Oh my God. I have thought about getting that tattooed on my forearm. So when I go to shake somebody's hand, that's like what it says. Like I think that everyone should have a "Don't panic" label somewhere clearly on their bodies.
Yeah. And usually if just some like random person in life told me not to panic, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you think. But not only does this book tell you not to panic, it gives you concrete advice for how not to panic. Keep your towel with you. Eat your peanuts, you know?
And at good. Least the way the book frames it is the reason it says "Don't panic" is because like the Hitchhiker's Guide it's like an ebook, but it's like this box contraption with like a million buttons on it to help you like get to the entry you're trying to look at, and it looks really complicated. So according to the book, the reason it says "Don't panic" is because you're looking at this book and you're like, oh my God, how can I operate this?
Yeah, that feels like life.
Yeah. Don't panic.
Don't panic. Oh,
yeah, I love it.
I love it too. I am a little surprised that this movie only got 10.5 out of 15 towels, but I'm gonna put that on scientific accuracy, which is really not its fault. So
that's right. I agree.
Yeah, so that's fine. But we still loved this movie.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Like, I will watch it anytime. I'm rereading it right now. Like, I'm in the middle of rereading it. One of my friends is rereading it, and I'm like, let's watch it together when we're both done reading it, which, as I mentioned, it's 200 pages, so we'll be done in like 3 days.
Nice.
I'm like, let's watch it again. Like, I will always watch this movie again. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes the very official Pale Blue Pod rubric just doesn't accurately reflect the quality of the movie. And that's okay.
Yeah, right. Yes. Other strengths. This movie has, you didn't, like, for example, there was no category for star-studded cast.
You're right. Maybe I should update the rubric. I've been working with this for a couple years, so maybe it's time.
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
You never know what joys each different film are going to bring.
So
you
true.
know?
So true. Well, it's brought me much joy to talk about this film with you, and I'd love for you to brag about yourself for a moment. Tell us what you're working on and where people can find you online.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. Like, it's been so good chatting with you here in your cozy little office with our tea and our fire.
Yes.
And I just love to nerd out about like really specific nerd shit with friends, new and old. So thank you so much. My name is Christina Kann. You can find me online. My Instagram is TBR Tina B Reading, because I don't know, if you're not a reader, TBR means to be read. So I just am always trying to read. Please check out my podcast where, like I mentioned, we talk about literary cringe. We roast stuff that we wrote when we were younger. We talk about literary drama and scandals and stuff. I've invited like ex-boyfriends on to read them poetry that I wrote about them when I was 15. It is like it is so freaking fun.
Wow. You are braver than I am.
Thank you. My co-host is like a songwriter, so she's like brought on raps that she wrote. Like, it's a doozy. And we have so much fun. So please come check it out. And you can also, if you're interested at all in the world of like indie book publishing, I have a book called Indie Book Publishing from Start to Finish. It's going to be awesome. Just to help people learn about indie publishing, because like the world of book publishing is historically has been pretty like obfuscated, honestly, to like and regular people, and it's becoming a lot more like democratized now, but that doesn't mean that the information is clearly available. So like, yeah, please check that out. It's available from bookshop.org and like any other online retailer, but that's my favorite.
Ooh, I do love bookshop.org. I shop there a lot.
Me too.
Yay. And I will also be on an episode of Burn Before Reading coming up.
Okay, so yes, this upcoming Wednesday, you're going to be on our show, and I'm so excited for that.
Yes, we are going to be talking about a very cringy piece of writing from my past.
Yay!
We're looking at something that I have not touched since I was 21, so I'll be cringing a lot.
Yay. I love it. I love it so much. I want to learn all about who you are when you were 21 and why you wrote the things you did.
Perfect. I'm so excited for everyone to listen to that. I'm so excited for people to listen to the rest of Burn Before Reading and follow you online. So listeners, follow the links in the show's description. I have to get ready for a faculty meeting. So you're welcome to stay here in the office.
Okay, maybe
Chill
I will.
if you would like. Cool. Yeah, feel free to get some reading done. But I'm going to go. Listeners, I hope you have your towel with you. But even if it's not within reach, you're still space. Pale Blue Pod is hosted by me, Dr. Moiya McTier, a.k.a. the universe's bestie. I created the show with original co-host Corinne Caputo, a comedienne extraordinaire, and help from the Multitude Productions team. Our theme music is by Evan Johnston, and our cover art is by Shay McMullen, and our audio editing is handled by the incomparable Misha Stanton. I am Go Astro Mo everywhere online, and you can stay in touch with the show and the universe by following Pale Blue Pod on Instagram or checking out our website, palebluepod.com. We are a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. So if you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live at multitude.productions. And if you want a shout out on the show and research notes for every episode, you can join our community over at patreon.com/palebluepod for just about $1 per episode. Thank you so much for listening to Pale Blue Pod. I'll be back next week. Bye.